cell phones are involved in more than 1.5 million car accidents every single year. And according to a new poll, more drivers are worried about people being distracted by their cell phones than those who are drinking and driving. So just how dangerous are those distracted drivers? Here to weigh in is a AAA Northeast spokesperson, Robert Sinclair. Robert, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, these statistics really are startling. And what hit me, too, is you say there's actually an after effect. So we're sitting there texting on our phone, even though we shouldn't be. And then 10 seconds after we've put the phone down, we still have the lasting effects?
We still have that halo effect or hangover effect, if you will, from using the technology. We did a study where we looked at in-vehicle voice-activated technologies to make phone calls, change radio stations, and that sort of thing. And it varied from vehicle to vehicle, but all vehicles had a sort of lingering effect, a latency effect,
right,
where you're still suffering from your brain being occupied with that task, even 30 seconds after you've completed the task.
So often around prom season, for example, there will be a mangled car on the front lawn of a high school, and they say this is what drinking and driving can do. But really, we ought to have things like that for texting and driving.
For texting and driving, distractions, it's estimated, are responsible for 16% of all fatal crashes, 5,000 fatalities every year. People think when they're in the vehicle, it's downtime, that they can be engaged in other tasks. But driving in and of itself is multitasking. You're controlling a heavy object, moving at speed. You have to be cognizant of other vehicles, lighting conditions, road conditions, weather, all that kind of things. It requires 100% of your mental faculties.
I think our parents are most worried about their teenagers when they first get behind the wheel. Is there a certain demographic that you would say is more at risk?
Without a doubt, teenagers. Teenagers lack the skills and experience to be able to deal with these kind of situations. Everybody lacks it, but teens are worse, and they don't have that training that we need, and brains are not fully developed until they're 21.
Yeah, we think we're invincible when we're 16 years old, don't we?
I remember those times, but we're not. And we have to be careful.
And you guys did an experiment. You put hidden cameras in the cars, and initially the young drivers were model citizens, you say, 10 and 2, and they were doing everything right. And then what happened after time passed by?
After a day or two, they fall into their bad habits. We had the cameras in the vehicles for a week, a camera looking at the driver and then looking at the road. And they were texting, they were talking with their friends, they were talking on the phone, and they would skid off the road, go into the median, roll around, do all sorts of hits, road signs, all sorts of bad things.
And that's not a simulation, that's real, just with the cameras in the car.
And it's one thing to look at statistics, but when you look at this video and you see it, it's giving you the problem in real time and very, very strongly.
And finally, we're coming up against a break, but is it better to use the technology in the car, or is that bad as well? I mean, is it worse to use your actual cell phone? Is it okay to use the technology in the car?
Well, hands-free is just as bad as handheld.
It is.
That expression, hands-free is not risk-free. It's the mental occupation in a task, in a call, that causes the problem. You need 100% of your faculties. It's driving a car is akin to flying a plane during landings, takeoff, and low-level flight. Planes, you've got other planes miles away. With a car, it could be only inches away with other vehicles.
Robert from AAA, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
And good insight.